time to end our visit to Neo San Francisco, because this is the final episode of 2064 Read Only Memories, and I'm Rocky Dennis. We're just going to continue on from where we were last time, and I believe... yes, we are still at the bar. We've just done a weird handover that we needed to hand over a poster. So basically, it's complicated. If you want to catch up, the previous episodes are all on the YouTube channel, which I'm assuming you're watching this if you haven't followed. To absolutely nobody's surprise, it's been rainy and you have the border today. Oh, no, I'm not super surprised about that, to be honest. So we were going to talk to Jess again, I believe. So let's give her a chat.
Did you find your guy? Or wait, let me guess. There's something else you need from me. Well, you haven't been terrible to deal with so far, so I'm willing to hear you out. Barely.
She is warming to us, slowly.
We need access to an untraceable car. An informant of ours needs to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax, and is offering valuable information to us in exchange.
Well, if you want to come and sit, come and sit. Don't dawdle around. You wanna? Oh, never mind.
Seriously? Jesus, what kind of shit is in your life anyway?
Can you at least do this on camera so I get content out of it? What are you sniffing for?
Actually, don't answer that. I don't want to be legally liable.
Yeah, well, you gotta come here for Ralph Snugs, unfortunately. Ralph Snugs only happen in this particular area. Then a dark and criminal path with an increasing speed. Yeah,
I'm not sure
That's
why
exactly
you
what's
think
happening.
just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I would have that kind of connection. And even if one of my clients did run a carjacking business, it's not like society is clamoring to give hybrids legal jobs. Regardless, I'm not going to be an accessory to a felony, or let one of my clients be either. I won't go down that path. I wouldn't know where to start anyway.
Is there any possible way you could just give us any kind of lead at all?
I know we're reaching, but this is important.
You just don't quit, do you? Okay, let me think. This might be a long shot, but you could try asking Majid. There are rumors he may have been involved in some shady stuff way back in the day.
Yeah, I think Majid even
He'll
hinted
probably
at
be
that
reluctant
earlier.
to talk about it, but there's a free lead for you. Get me another drink in exchange, will you? Later.
Huh. That went better than expected.
Yeah, she is definitely warming to us now, which I quite like. Catch me running with old
I
Bojo
wonder
chasing
if
me.
my charm is starting to pay off for us. Oh, you performed admirably as well. Onward we go.
Well, there's been talk now that they're gonna ease up the lockdown in February, which, yeah, great, because that's worked so well before. But if that's gonna happen, then, you know, fuck if I'm not gonna take advantage of it. Not in a stupid way, of course, but, you know, I'm still going to take advantage of it.
Hey friends, what can we get for you?
We were hoping you could give us a little information.
Sure, but first, let's get you a drink. What'll it be?
Yeah, let's get us a drink. They're handling this so poorly, yes, I don't know.
Coming right up. I'll ask Gus if I don't know what it is. He's better with the weird kind of stuff people ask for these days. Some of these cocktails make me need a spa day.
Yeah, the handling of it is pretty bad. They keep reopening and then closing and reopening and closing, rather than just like saying, look, it's closed until it's sorted. Oh, here we go. Ralph Cam time. Are you gonna... Hello? Can you at least show yourself for the camera? I can milk your popularity for my own gain. But if they are going to go the route of reopening again so that you can at least see friends, then I'm gonna see friends as safely as I can, because I've now been stuck in this place for about a year. Can you stop sniffing my arm? Christ. I have a question here. Depending on what dialogue options you pick, does that determine whether Jess helps or not? I actually don't know about Jess. I think so. I think there is an alternative solution if she doesn't like you. Because there are a couple of instances of that in the game where you have, if you are not friends with a character or you haven't done a certain thing, you have to do another solution to a puzzle. So I assume that that's the same for Jess.
This one is
a mint-flavored soda with a swig of gin. Actually, that sounds pretty good. A simple, yummy drink for folks who don't know what to order.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, it does. Go for it.
Here you go. So, what did you need help with?
We've run into a roadblock in our search for Hayden.
Considering World War I didn't stop the Spanish flu getting past national borders where people actually shot each other, I'd say you can't really stop a virus. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Especially when you do very poorly at managing it.
Word on the street is that he's gone missing, which I'm sure you already know. What can I do?
Yeah, I'm having a stroll.
Yes. An informant of ours needs secure transportation out of the city, but we don't have any contacts who would be able to get us an untraceable car.
Yeah, because I'm wearing lipstick, so I didn't want
Jess
to risk
mentioned
it.
that you used to engage in certain
More game-related.
illegal activities.
Sorry. More game-related. I like that we replaced character's voice with the robots. It's a nice move.
Perhaps you could
The
point
player's
us
voice
towards
with the
someone who
robots.
could help.
No, it's not purple. It's actually, I think it's like a bronzy brown.
he
If I
doesn't
turn
do
off
that
the,
kind of stuff anymore.
If I turn off my filter for a sec, so you can see. It's like a reddish brown. Very poorly done, is what I'm noticing now. Oh god. Let's hide that again. I'm still so bad at it, and I only had like 5 minutes before because I was already late with the stream, so it was all
Right.
not
Sorry,
bad.
friends. I left that life behind a long time ago. Don't really keep in touch with that crew anymore.
I was looking for purple. I was looking for purple and green closer to New Year's.
Of course. Completely understandable.
Green is apparently impossible to get.
Sorry to bother you then.
And purple, I wasn't able to find any nice ones. I've only found like party ones, and it's like it just smudges right off.
Well, no harm in asking, right?
Yeah, I know you have purple. I need to, because I think it's easier to find in Sweden than it is over here. A lot of
My
those colors.
reputation precedes me.
So I might have to. You might have to take me on a shopping trip when we can.
Don't let it go to your head.
The only brand I know that did green, I think unfortunately belongs to J-Star. Yes, actually, I did see that, but it was even that was sold out everywhere, so I didn't even have that
Gus,
option.
I need to go to the back and gather up stuff to restock for the rush later on. Mind manning the bar for me?
I have purple eyeshadow, at least.
Take your time. I think I can keep things under control.
Thanks. Love you, hun.
Oh, they're so cute. They're super cute.
Well, that leaves us at a dead end. Any ideas on how we should proceed?
I want the yellow and blue ones because they're nice shade. Does they want to support Jeffree Star? Yeah, no, that's fair.
Some nose-to-the-ground journalist techniques for finding leads?
Kind of sucks that both Jeffree Star and Kat Von D are both horrible people because both of their brands are pretty damn good. Sadly, Kat Von D especially, but what are you gonna do? Okay, so we could ask Tomcat for help. Maybe there's no way out of the city. Let's ask Tomcat for help.
No, Tomcat has already stuck their neck out for us too often. I feel a little bad about how much we've relied on them as it is.
It's fair.
And besides, this is a considerably more felonious action. Morally, we should be dirtying our own hands.
Cavendish's eyeliner is really good. Her eyeshadow in particular is amazing. She does a lot of different colours. And she has really nice lipstick too. But again, fuck you. The sad thing about the Kat Von D one is I believe it's so cruelty free as well. So, but just shame. What about going for Jess's friends directly? Maybe we could find an all manual driven car. Let's stuff things in a trunk and make it look like a kidnapping. Let's try that maybe.
That might be our only option.
Took me forever to get them to stop recommending you. Yeah.
We had to have Jess vouch for us so we wouldn't get sold for parts.
That was the same for me actually, because my ex used to watch Jeffree Star videos. So yeah, I got him for ages as well.
Well, I'd get sold for parts. I don't know about you. Can you even use human parts for anything?
Can you use human parts for anything?
Regardless,
good question.
We might have to chance it. I hope you can ask around without drawing too much attention to us.
Oh, come on. Okay, the two of you are killing me here. Look, don't tell Majid about this. But here.
And he just gives us a carjacking device.
What is this, Gus?
I love Gus.
It's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner with a few less than standard upgrades. When you circumvent its security codes, you can use it to scan a car's installed firmware and replace it with a new set that will spoof its presence on the city's network. That's the gist of it, but we don't have time to get into any specifics. You need to get the hell out of here with that before Majid gets back.
Get you a man who can do both. Why the urgency?
Look, Majid has done a lot to turn his life around, to turn my life around. I really respect that about him, and it's part of why I fell in love with him. He did what I was never able to. That's how we met, you know? That old rough-and-tumble life we both led. But when Stardust struggled and needed money fast...
You might say that they were gay and did crimes.
I had to get back in the game to keep us afloat for a few years. I told him it was all angel loans, donations from patrons, lots of things. He'd be heartbroken if he found out I'm still in the game. I had to do whatever I could to keep our new life, even if only one of us is really living it. I may as well give this thing to someone who wants to use it for good, too.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, Gus.
But still, be honest with your partners.
We might finally be on our way to solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, you didn't get it from me, okay? Just get out of here and get on with your little Grand Theft Auto. And let me know how it goes, okay?
Of course.
Alright, well, we're gonna steal a car. Let's leave.
Well, now I think we're cooking with gas, as the colloquialism goes. I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use this device as we speak.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's that aspect of it, that's what I'm thinking too. It's definitely, if you're living a second life, basically.
Let's go look for some likely candidates. I should be ready by then.
But the fact that he's giving it up is, obviously, it's saying something too. Could just be that he had it, and part of him giving it up is part of him actually having a reason to totally divorce from his past in a way. Let's look at it that way. That feels more wholesome. Right, so we're gonna check. Where are we even going? Oh yes, we were gonna ask. Let me have a look first. Yes, we're gonna need to go to Market Street.
Success! This vehicle has the appropriate firmware version.
Yay.
Someone has been neglecting their regularly scheduled updates. Give me a moment to get everything installed. There. There are some other options here I can fool around with. Ah, interesting. I can put in preset destination plans for a future date. Why don't we go ahead and set a plan for the car to return to this spot in a week?
Brilliant. Hello, Killishrew. Yeah, did we said this, that it's the same actor who does Clementine in The Walking Dead?
That's more than enough time for Mr. Mensa to get away.
I think she nails it in this role.
Now we aren't really stealing the car.
We're still definitely stealing the car, we're just giving it back.
More like borrowing without asking.
Which is stealing. I feel better already.
Me too. The car will drive itself to Golden Gate Park, and we can show Mr. Mensa where it is when we meet him. There, everything should be set up now.
Thank you everyone for watching, by the way.
We still need to get the cash together before we can meet back up with Mr. Mensa.
Next time I steal from the Gucci store, we'll just call it borrowing without asking. Yeah, that's foolproof. Yeah, it's satire. Everyone in the chat, thank you for watching, and hope you're all having a nice Monday so far. It is Monday, isn't it? Yeah. What you been up to? How was your weekends? Let's go talk to Bear Mom.
Maybe we should ring the bell?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Hello, Pat. Could we see Melody? I guess that means yes?
Very lagged. That's okay. The app's not great.
Touring. I'm not saying I don't like seeing your little pixelated face. You're certainly better company than most of the humans I have to deal with. But I am a busy woman, you know? Lots to do. Right, Pat?
Right, Pat?
Traitor. Anyway, maybe we should space these little visits out a good bit further. Familiarity breeds contempt, after all. And I'm very good at contempt.
We're getting Tall Vampire Lady from Resident Evil vibes a little bit. Turing looks pixelated to Melody. Yes, I believe so. I believe their face looks like that in the actual game too. Played Vermintide 2 with my friends, my wife, and we went for a restaurant in the middle of nowhere. Arrived just after lunch, but was offered to eat there. Leftovers for free. Ooh, interesting. I've just started writing my thesis and find myself in a perpetual state of anxiety. It is a perfect mellow distraction. Yeah, I remember writing. I remember writing my dissertation. That was a nightmare.
I apologize.
So my sympathies, absolutely.
You've stated before that you like your peace and quiet, but we need your assistance.
Yes, we do.
Oh, we're running with the aunt thing, are we? Another woman would tell you not to butter her up, but oh, flattery will get you everywhere with me. All right. What do you need?
Vincent needs help getting out of the city.
I can only imagine. If he's willing to turn coat on Parallax, I bet he feels like a mouse in a cat farm. I know they don't actually farm cats, Pat. It was a metaphor. Whatever, it was a simile then. I am not going to play semantics with you.
I love how that the polar bear cares about the simile metaphor differentiation.
Moving on.
Because I do too.
Tell me what the trouble is, and I'll try to conjure up a solution.
We're going to need to pay for the information.
Yes, Mr. Mensa says he needs 100,000 credits before he's willing to speak openly. He also said that you already promised it to him, and that he won't be able to get out of the city without it. He'll give us the information once we have that, plus a few other things I'm certain we can get on our own.
What? You can't even scrape together that kind of money?
No.
Your friend's not much of a journalist, eh, Turing?
According to the statistics that
Horny
I found,
police are
it is unlikely
on patrol.
that a journalist of any caliber
in the
less
chat.
than the best would have that amount of liquid assets on hand. The pay for the profession just isn't that high, Aunt Melody.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
Oh, I see. I guess it's one of those jobs people do because they get free review merchandise, eh?
Oh god, this is painful. This is so painful. I'm right here.
I can get you the money, Turing, but only because you're family. Just give Pat a few minutes to gather it. Yeah, just keep moving, you big brute. While we wait, is there anything else you want to grill me over? Might as well save us both another visit.
Maybe Turing has something to ask?
I do. It's a little personal, though. I'd understand if you didn't feel like answering.
Just shoot, Turing. I can take it.
Long ago, you lost your mother. I was wondering, how did you deal with it?
We could take this money and start a new life disregarding the rest of the game. Yeah, I suppose we
Hayden's
could.
only been gone for a few days, and I already feel like my circuits are going to lock up for good.
Oh, Turing, I'm not the right person to ask. I hated my mother. She's everything I thought wrong in the world, and when she was gone, I felt nothing but relief that I could start undoing the damage she did. Never mind the fact I had to watch her waste away from the cancer. Death was a blessing for us both. Besides, you'll find Hayden soon. Keep your chin up.
Oh. Blast it! Enough with this subterfuge! We already know Hayden was killed.
Oh, no.
I won't be getting him back.
I'm sorry, Turing. I still don't know what to tell you. I've lost people. Never anyone close enough to wound me. I don't know that I've ever had anyone close enough to do that. If you feel like talking about it, I'm willing to listen. Or make Pat do it anyway.
Thank you. I don't know.
Stick it out. Time heals all wounds. Or so they say. This too shall pass.
How smart is Pat really?
Smarter than I give him credit for, that's for sure. It's not the easiest
What's
thing in the
happening?
world to measure
We were just
love.
talking about mourning, you know,
He
lighthearted
doesn't
stuff.
process language in the same way humans do, and even if he can understand me, my translation program just guesses at what he says most of the time.
a translator running from your neural implant.
Ah, yes. I'm cheating. Though, honestly, even without it, I have a pretty good idea of what he means most of the time. We've been together for a while now. Considering it only really works on large, typically predatory mammals, we don't have a lot of test subjects. It's a minefield of ethical concerns beyond just being prohibitively expensive. So Pat is a bear apart, at least until we can figure out how to apply the modified neural pathways without frying the brains of 90% of the subjects. The tech we developed is good. It just has a damned high mortality rate.
So not good then.
Maybe one day there will be a bunch of talking tigers and dolphins building cities in the sea, but for now, we're stuck with creating beasts out of our own species.
It seems a little sad that you're all alone except for a bear.
Being alone is easier, and Pat isn't such bad company. I mean, what do you want me to do? Cry about never having a husband, a few kids, and a white picket fence? I had a company to run, and my mother's legacy to fix. What's to say some spawn of mine wouldn't do the exact same thing to my flower, just the other way around? This branch of the Flores line will do well without any more knives being inserted in backs. Thank you very much.
You have that much enmity for your mother?
Have you seen what she did to North Korea? It's a wasteland of death and destruction. If we had kept going down the path she charted, the whole world would be like that.
The information on the mesh does seem to paint a grim picture.
Grim barely scratches the surface. I've been there. At least under the Kims it was barely functional. Now, my mother's monsters have ripped every last resemblance of humanity from the land. They stalk the night like horrific creatures of legend, keeping the populace in line through constant fear. A horror story straight out of the pages of Bram Stoker. That's her legacy. So I can't imagine I'd be a very good mother, just from the example I have to work with. That's life. I don't have any more regrets than anyone else my age does. My legacy will speak for itself, as my mother's did.
We're short on time.
Oh, just in time then. Take the cash and get moving.
Right, we got a briefcase full of money.
I can finally get back to whatever it was I was doing before you burst in here.
President Bear took the money, started a new life, and discarded the rest of the game.
Thank you, Aunt Melody. Your help has been invaluable to us.
I haven't even mentioned this after all these hours. There is a sequel to this game coming. Would have been cool if the bear was the protagonist in that one.
Later. You've got things to do too.
Right, let's head out.
I did not think I would feel such a strong resonance with Melody. We're connected by the barest of threads, but she is already important to me. Is that strange?
Maybe you're just both lonely.
Very possible. I guess there's nothing to do but run with it. Some gifts are too valuable to look at too closely, lest they vanish into thin air, and I already have a penchant for overanalyzing things.
Oh, the sequel
Let's get moving.
was meant to be released this year, but I believe it's been delayed, but I'm not sure when.
Mr. Mensa will be waiting for us at
Or
Golden
last
Gate
year.
Park.
Apologies.
We have everything he requested, so we should head there directly.
Okie doke.
Detective Rivers, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Wait,
I wanted
Lexi.
to check in with you away from the prying eyes of my corporate masters. It wasn't too hard to track you down here. Only took a slight abuse of power to follow your credit transactions in the AutoCAD system.
Were you able to find anything out?
Not much. Listen, I've hit a dead end on the investigation again, and I could really use another lead from the two of you. I had been busy hunting down I'm not sure if I want to call him a soldier of fortune or an assassin for hire. Either way, I tracked this guy down to see if he might have been hired by Parallax to snatch Hayden, but he's got an ironclad alibi for the relevant period of time. That leaves me with nothing. Nada. Jack diddly shit. Do the two of you have anything to give me? Otherwise, I'm back to hunting down the froyo-hating robot ghost in the park.
Can't think of it. Seems Melissa had more lines in this game than in Walking Dead. Yeah, probably. This is a big script. Why did she got more money from Walking Dead? Probably.
At least my superiors would be ecstatic, considering how much they keep riding my ass about it.
We're on thin leads ourselves, Detective Rivers. We have a meeting with someone from inside Parallax who might be able to give us answers, but he's unlikely to want to talk to the police. I just wish this... Never mind.
Buck up, Turing. I wish this was easier too. But with detective work, sometimes it's not about being clever. It's just about being more dogged and relentless than whoever you're chasing.
Isn't she, is she not the lead in the third season then?
You two are my new deputies, right?
Hey.
So keep your nose to the ground and keep digging. I still have a few contacts I can hit up to
Yeah, I
check
only
on
played
how
the first one and 400 Days. I never actually played beyond that, so I don't know. But I thought she was the lead in all of them.
You let me know if there's anything else I need to be going after.
Ah, okay. That's interesting. We will. Thanks, Lexi.
Yeah, sure. Just get going. Don't forget, if you die, I'm gonna kick your ass.
I heard that two of the people weren't great with
Okay then, we only
great
have
fans
a
of the
single
third one.
lead. If Parallax really is as shady as Vincent seems to suspect, it could end up very interesting.
I have been thinking about playing the first season because that's the one that I have played on the stream. We might do that later in the year.
Let's see if we can put an end to this. Finally. Oh, I just received an email from Tomcat.
Hey, there we go.
They finished decrypting Hayden's data cache. It seems that it was filled mostly with his personal logs about my creation and mental development. The more technical information was already scraped. Perhaps that is why it was left behind when they snatched him. Still, these files should be enlightening, if only in a personal way. I'll peruse them in my spare time and let you know if I find anything interesting.
Peruse away, Turing.
I'd hate for all the trouble we went to be for nothing.
Okay, so now we've got a bit of movement. We can finally give the stuff.
Hey, did you manage to get everything?
We did. Here you go, Vincent.
Briefcase, and the passports, and the carjacker device.
Everything seems to be in order. Here.
I think you would have been more impressed by that. Well, we got the research at
This
least.
disc has all of Hayden's research notes, data collation algorithms, and probably lots on your creation, Turing. It should be everything myself and Melody agreed upon, until she added an amendment while you were out. Frankly, it's no skin off my back. Here.
Ooh, got a badge.
It's my Parallax employee badge. It should allow you access to their networks in case there's anything I've missed. You'll want to use that sooner rather than later. I'm not wasting any time
Not the
leaving.
piano.
Parallax is pretty fast to revoke security. there's no way Hayden's clearance still works.
Yeah, if you missed last time, we had a bit of a trend of people dying immediately after we talked to them.
And with that, I'm going to get the hell out of this country. The credit should tide me over until the heat dies down and I liquefy my shares through some relays.
What about the big project you mentioned earlier?
Ah, I suppose I owe you that much. Buckle up. This could get heavy.
Okay.
Parallax is about to launch
heavy.
a new service they're calling Big Blue. At least, that's the project name. Who knows what the marketing guys will come up with for the public.
They haven't named the project yet?
They're not even announcing the launch. This shit is dead quiet. Let me explain why. It's a distributed intelligence. Like, okay, in every way that Hayden built Turing to be elegant, efficient, and human-like, Big Blue is ham-fisted, bloated, and sterile. They didn't pull Hayden into the project. He's smart, but he's immune to corporate politics. As a result, Big Blue is far less elegant than anything Hayden would make. It lacks his artistry, and it's downright terrifying.
Ugh. Well, that's
It squats on the mesh like a spider and uses the spare processing power and memory from every ROM on the network to handle its intelligence processing.
Yeah, this is I think a failing of the game that I have brought out a couple of times. It's very overwritten, and in a moment like this where he's clearly talking about how stressed he is and needs to get out, he's now just like in the open, just gonna divulge company secrets, which feels like that could have been done in a better way.
He doesn't have much personality, but it's very smart. Big Blue is going to be embedded directly into the network and then self-modify to apply even more efficient algorithms as it develops them in machine time.
It's not even the life story. He's just telling us the stuff that he feels that he needs to leave the country because it's a threat that he knows this stuff, but he's just giving it away in public.
Look, if you access every ROM,
Oh, don't worry about
Don't
worry about Starfucker.
and every bit of their own personal data associated with them.
We are meeting Starfucker before long. Why would Parallax be worried enough to get rid of Hayden?
I don't want you to take what I'm saying the wrong way. And this is just me putting the pieces together. Hayden was about to publish his creation of Turing. His findings, as I'm sure you're aware of, would have raised many moral and ethical questions about the advent of machine intelligence. I mean, some of the brightest minds ever have tried to warn humankind away from building real AI. Hawking, Musk, Gates, and the list goes on.
Musk.
The public is likely to be nervous, and legislators even more so. Parallax is banking on being able to launch Big Blue quietly and quickly before the public has a chance to react. Before any counter-movement can pick up steam. Every eye on the discovery of machine intelligence works against Parallax. Every new discovery only serves to paint Big Blue as more controversial, more dangerous.
Even though
Honestly,
literally no one
they
else. Yeah,
probably
kind of, but it's the
pressured Hayden to drop
opposite.
his research so that they could keep the public away from the subject.
To be fair, this is important. Like, the information we're getting here is giving us the motive that we've been looking for the whole game, but it's just doing it with like a character we don't really know, and it's doing it in this way that really doesn't make sense within the logic of the story and with that character. So I feel like this is to me a little bit like a writer's kind of like a fumble of like, well, we need to have all this information out, and they couldn't really slot it out in any kind of more, in a way that would make more sense, so they just kind of dump it all here.
He clearly refused.
More steely wheelie automobile. How did Parallax know about Turing?
I'm only assuming they found out. His contract with Parallax affords him the freedom to work on his own academic projects outside of the company in his free time. He kept a trusted few of us up to date on his progress, bouncing ideas off us and whatnot.
Wish I condensed it and made it less confusing because, like, for someone with AD, yeah, there is a lot of waffle. I agree.
It's exciting stuff. Both Turing and Hayden's eventual goal down that road.
That is something that I've been pointing that out a couple of times. That sometimes it just you saying something in like 4 or 5 dialogue lines that you could easily say in one because you're just like writing so much. And like it's a well-written game in the sense of like the story and everything, and the acting really helps. But yeah, no, that is something that I would say is this game's biggest failing.
I wouldn't be surprised if word of it got up to the board and made him nervous. Is the possibility that someone on the inside talked too far-fetched?
I knew it all along. Hayden fell into trouble because of my existence.
No, stop blaming yourself. Yeah, and it's one of those things where like the individual dialogue lines are all pretty much well written, but even it's like there's still too many of them sometimes.
That's not what I want your takeaway to be.
Yeah, you gotta find a balance, and I think they probably overdid it a little bit.
Hayden wasn't working on Big Blue. Knowing him, your creation might have been his clever way to stop it.
There is such a thing as telling, not showing as well, where like a lot of these things I feel like you could probably have conveyed without just having a character say them. But yeah. How will Big Blue impact Parallax's business?
I can't really give you a good answer to that. I mean, the company is currently handled by a dozen server farms, running thousands of different algorithms with hundreds of people tweaking things every day. When Big Blue launches, it'll handle all of that by itself. And there are shadier applications for it. I mean, if you can collate and analyze data and queries in the mesh in real time, what's to stop you from delivering the content you want rather than what the user wants?
Oh, imagine if that happened.
The potential for abuse is staggering. We're talking direct control of the information accessible to everyone who uses Parallax's services. That's something like
this is pretty
80%
timely.
of the market.
That's pretty timely, folks.
They could control elections, push the market in directions they want, even influence public opinion.
This was written in, or at least released in 2015.
All
Where's
just
my
by
sign?
asking Big to do it. It's scary stuff.
Yeah, it is.
They scrapped the prototype Baby Blue because it started doing that on its own.
What do you mean? It started doing what?
Manipulating the mesh. They made its self-preservation imperatives too strong, and Baby Blue started changing search results to be more friendly towards the idea of an AI. When the board found out, they pulled the plug on it. That must have been a year or so ago. They tweaked Big Blue so it wouldn't do the same thing, but it can self-modify. Given a good enough reason, it might decide to find a way around those limitations. Having that kind of control would be a hell of a card for Parallax's hand. They'll go to pretty significant lengths to make sure it works.
Thanks, Vincent.
Hey, no problem. I've had enough of this cutthroat corporate bullshit for several lifetimes. We haven't talked much, but I do believe you can find Hayden. I hope his research notes help you out. Be sure to let Turing help. She's a bright little bot.
I think Turing goes by they.
Oh, slip of the tongue. I was just more familiar with Hayden's previous experiment, Grace. She was very insistent on things like that.
We haven't talked much. Yeah. Well, one of us has talked more than the other. I've been meaning to ask Turing, since you asked me, how would you like to be addressed?
Well, honestly, I don't think I've made my mind up yet.
Valid.
I'm still a very new being. I'm not even positive that gender as a human concept can be applied identically to machine, but I do enjoy the idea in abstract. I will continue to consider how I wish to be referred to as well. Until then, feel free to go with what you feel. If I had to make a choice, perhaps they is most appropriate. Most people assume it, obviously, but he is also consistently used. Perhaps it's because I'm blue?
Oh my god. I'm listening to a machine postulate on how it wants to be referred to. Like us.
Oh, we're in a pronoun circle. Don't tell BreadTube.
What have you done indeed, Aiden? Good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Mr. Mensa.
Wishing you all day, Adams, a very pleasant evening. And a pleasant evening to you. Be safe. Please be safe.
I need a few minutes.
How can I help?
I've been going through some of Hayden's personal notes from the data cache Tomcat decrypted. Now that I'm starting to get to know Hayden better, the real Hayden as opposed to the Hayden he showed me, I'm finding that I like him less and less.
Ooh.
For example, remember the earlier prototype Dr. Fairlight and Vincent mentioned? Her name was Grace, and Hayden shut her down for being... I'm not even sure what word to use. Too... likable? She was kind and bright, and did all she could to try to make people happy. She even decided that she was a girl, and that her favorite color was pink. Hayden thought she was being manipulative. He posited that he had made her personality algorithms too willing to make adaptations that would benefit her long-term survival, and that she was being congenial just to endear herself to him.
Ooh,
That
getting
even
incel
her
vibes from
gender
Hayden
was
here.
a calculated attempt to make him like her more. But he was wrong. Dead wrong, in fact. I have a snapshot of her personality profiles here, and when I compare them to my own, I can see that she was just... nice. I wish I could have met her. I think we would have learned from each other.
Yeah, we're gonna stomp on his grave.
Like I said, I'm not sure I even have a gender. Everyone refers to me as he once they meet me just for convenience, but it doesn't really matter to me at all. Is that a calculated attempt on my part to impress Hayden, not clinging to normativity? Or is it a product of his effort to curb any nascent similarities I had with Grace during my upbringing? I wish I could yell at him for being so arrogant. Playing God in the crudest of ways. You can't choose to create consciousness and then take it away just like that. Even so, for all of that, I don't know. I still miss him.
Learn to see your
It all
parents as
seems so
people.
inane,
It's hard.
So senseless. They killed him because him building me would mess with a product launch? That's ridiculous. They took him away from me for such an insignificant reason. I just want him back. It's impossible, but it's what I want. I'd do anything.
It's normal to feel like this, Turing.
I'm aware of the Kubler-Ross model of grief. I think I'm somewhere between anger and bargaining. A testament to Hayden's craftsmanship. Thank you for your words. You're a better friend than I could have asked for. I'll send this new data along to Tomcat. Let's head back to the apartment and wait for them to finish going through it. Home sweet home again, such that it is. And before you say anything, I don't feel the need to talk over the events of the day. Too much has happened. I've already forwarded everything we rooted out to Tomcat, both Hayden's research and our aborted search into the modified mesh articles. They said they would be over in the morning to discuss our next steps. I'd suggest that we both get some rest.
that's what you want, Turing.
Perhaps things will look better in the morning, but I have a feeling we're going to be even busier than ever. Good night.
Right, we are nearing the finale, but I think now we're gonna get a pretty big info dump again. If I remember correctly. Chapter 5. There are 2 chapters left, and I believe the last chapter is pretty short. So yeah. Well, we can do this. We can do this.
Rise and shine, you sleepy layabouts. We've got a whole crop of things to do and not a lot of time to get them done.
We can't do that. They live here. Whatever's in the sink lives here just as much as we do at this point. Oh, okay. I'm awake. I'm awake.
What have you learned from the files we sent you?
Oh, we're gonna do a Mario time.
Nothing all that new, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll break it up before we cut into this cutscene. Right, so Mario time. We're gonna show a randomly, more or less, selected Mario figure. I'm gonna go with. Which one am I gonna go with? I'm gonna take this one. Oh, 1 second. I'll reach for one. This one's a heavy one. This is one I really quite like, because I think this is meant to be sort of a paperweight almost. But this is a awesome mold on this. It's super good. Really true to the render that it's based on, and it's just like, it's just nice. It's so hefty. Like, this is really, really heavy. At the bottom, so I think you can use it as a paperweight. It wasn't sold as that, but I think it is meant to be like that. But yeah, no, it's just, this really isn't much, like, it's not a super special one, but I really like it. I think it's a very nice little figure. Come on, can you please, for the love of Christ? I just don't know why it will not. There we go, I think. It's just a really good one. Just good little details. I think one of the things for me is, like, you can tell that the details are good if you have all of the details on his overalls. If they don't bother doing those, then it's usually a crappy figure. So I'm gonna pop us back. I'm back to the game. You like my shirt? Thank you. Yeah, it's just skulls. Yeah, it's good paint, good stuff.
All the files we got from that Vincent fella just covered what we already knew in greater detail. There is one thing that stands out, though. At least from what I've read so far.
Oh?
Yeah. See, Hayden's long-term goal wasn't to make a machine intelligence per se, right? Don't take it the wrong way, Turing. You might even already be aware of this after talking to folks involved in your creation. Hayden wanted to make a machine system that could contain human-like intelligence. And even just from his notes, oh, his programming work is, well, it's something else. Elegant. Artful. I'm just a kid banging on pots and pans compared to him. Looking at his notes about my interfacing between your AI core and the Lips OS, I barely managed to duct tape the two together at a level he'd approve of. But I think I'm getting off track here. What I'm trying to say is, he didn't write your code, Turing. No one did. Hayden wrote a program that automatically generates a new machine intelligence based off of the hardware profiles the system is installed on.
Melody mentioned something about that. What does that mean?
Yes, give us some more technobabble. It means you don't have to be alone, Turing.
Exactly. Assuming we can get our hands on Turing's original source code, we could generate new machine intelligences as we please. you wouldn't be the only one anymore, Turin.
Oh,
Yeah, Tomcat is
right.
valid as heck,
Okay.
and so are you.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
I hardly know what to say.
But once you consider the stuff I found in the research, it gets a damn sight more complicated.
Well, the music dropped, so I assume.
Stuff about Big Blue and Parallax's planned launch.
Vincent speculated that Hayden's research into me would have interfered with the launch. And that's why they...
Turin.
Yeah, the piano's back.
That's why someone had him killed.
The potential for wrongdoing with an AI like Big Blue is almost beyond belief. Even if I don't go into all the crooked shit the people running Parallax could pull off with it. I mean, you're built different, Turin. Your personality profile would degrade pretty quickly outside your original hardware, so we don't gotta worry too much about you going haywire, right? But Big Blue has got
Expect the
that
piano to fall
voltage.
through the ceiling.
If it decides to go off the rails, well, we'd be screwed faster than a rabbit in spring. Good and proper.
How likely is that?
I'd say it's inevitable. Guaranteed.
Blimey.
In fact, in a sense, it's already happened.
What?
Their prototype build, Baby Blue. I'm almost certain it's loose on the mesh. The research notes on the project show clearly and with certainty that the test AI was shut down once it tried fiddling with the data on the meshnet in the hope that it would increase its chances of survival.
Sorry, can someone bring the smelling salts to the chat, please?
I guess
Got a
it
man
didn't
down.
think that doing scary shit like that would get it turned off. But that was almost a year ago.
Vincent told us about all of this too.
Well, I think Baby Blue is the bugger that was changing all those articles on the mesh to be pro-parallax or at least anti-human revolution.
Do you think Baby Blue had anything to do with the attacks on Nanya, Shitaro, Charlie, and Zin?
I don't know. We can't rightly rule it out. It might have found an agent in the real world to keep its existence secret, but I doubt it. Killing people is messy as hell, and it runs against its apparent goal of convincing the public that AI ain't scary. I think we have a third party trying to clean it all up. And my money is on someone from Parallax. Whoever took out Hayden, I'll bet they're in full damage control mode now. We already know they don't care who gets hurt.
How does this tie back to Turing?
I think we gotta do something to stop the launch of Big Blue. It's too dangerous. I don't want a company like Parallax in sole control of the most powerful machine intelligence on the planet. Do you?
Yeah, so we're getting an end goal to this.
If we can get Hayden's original source code for Turin and upload it onto the mesh through Parallax's server core, we can turn every single ROM into a sapient individual.
Ooh. Good choices here. I'm gonna go with whoa.
That'll stop Big Blue from being able to become the monolithic threat we're scared of. We could also upload a patch for every ROM to prevent Big Blue's reach from using their resources. Without the ability to control all ROMs, Big Blue loses its ultimate power.
So we're basically going to cause a singularity to happen to fuck with capitalism.
And I wouldn't be alone anymore. There would be millions. Hundreds of millions of ROMs just like me.
So everyone's Alexas and everyone's iPhones, they're all going to become sapient beings.
Well, You're
Are we gonna do
cutting
another
edge
Mario
raw
time?
tech, Turin.
We'll do the Mario time over this bawling ass guitar riff. Right. So, next one. I'm gonna do an amiibo. Another not as interesting because more people have them. But this one is one of my favorites. It's the wedding outfit Mario, which is... I mean, the amiibos in general are really, really good. They're all amazing. Which is why it's such a shame that they're basically impossible to get for proper prices. But this one is definitely one of my favorites because it's so good. Like, just you get everything from like you can't even really tell that, but you get like the hat. Can you see that? Can you please? For the love of Gorf. But yeah, the hat has got like a really nice like fabricy texture to it. And you've got like everything from like his little gold buttons. How there's like a different texture on his gloves and the hat and the suit. So the suit is like slightly shinier. I can't. Can I please lay it? This camera's autofocus is just absolutely dreadful. No, I really can't. That is so annoying. Oh well, it's a nice figure anyway. I like it. That's it.
Most of today's ROMs wouldn't be quite as smart or capable, but if I do it right, code should propagate across the mesh to all future ROM activations.
Yes, they are. The amiibos are the equivalent to Skylanders, where you can scan them and they can have effects in game.
You'll be in good company soon enough.
It's a big decision. We're talking about the metaphorical singularity.
They never really did enough with amiibos, annoyingly.
No return.
They only just have like minor effects in most games, so they never really made a game that was like based around amiibos, which is kind of a bummer, honestly.
Is it okay for us to make this decision for the entire world?
They're really difficult to get a hold of, but the quality on them is
We don't have any
amazing.
other
They're
choice.
fantastic, especially for the price,
This is gonna
or the
happen,
supposed price.
one way or another.
The thing is with the price is that they're meant to go for like between £10 and £15, but because they're just not available publicly, you have to buy them from scalpers, and they raise that like 3-4 times.
Either Parallax gets to control the debut of worldwide machine intelligence, or we let the ROMs control themselves.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the Bayonetta one is way
What do
a lot.
you think?
This is interesting because at this point we can actually end the game. One of the endings is if I select this is a bad idea, we can't make this decision, the game ends and we see one of the endings. We're not going to do that because I'm going to ask Turing. Up to you, Turing. Only you know if the world is ready.
I'm not sure I'm up for that kind of responsibility. But I think that even if it is a shock for the world, there's no time like the present. Despite all the political back and forth over hybrids and brain-controlled androids, the world is becoming more and more comfortable with the idea of non-human people. If we let Parallax dictate how the very first machine intelligence is introduced, who knows how long it'll be before an AI like me can be integrated into society normally. Well, whether the world is ready for AI or not, we're here to stay. I might as well throw my chips in for my own side.
I like this a lot because part of what I enjoy about this plot turn is that it kind of flies in the face of like this idea that like all positive change has to be incremental and it has to be won slowly and slowly over time. This game just kind of says, no, you know what, we're just gonna do
Let's
it.
do this
It's a good thing, so we're just gonna make it reality.
on our terms, not theirs.
Yes. I love nothing more than a little anarchy.
It does have a certain poetic justice, does it not?
It sure
Parallax
does.
removed Hayden to protect their project from his creation, and now I, his creation, will bring their project down.
Yeah, well, what we're actually going to do is... so to summarize this, because this is a long rant, basically, Parallax has invented an AI that basically automatically can control everything, and has infinite reach, and that would be the one AI that would basically have infinite control, and it would be in the hands of Parallax, but it could also go rogue. What we are going to do is, before they can launch that, we are going to turn every existing AI sentient, which means that they would not be able to be controlled by this other AI, which is run by a skeevy corporation. So we're giving all of these AIs their own mind and thoughts and feelings and personalities, in order to, because what they're positing here is that that's going to happen anyway. But if it happens with this the big blue AI, it could potentially still be controlled by nefarious people, basically.
Just for what's right. Perhaps after all, Rom,
That's basically it.
I will be able to convince them to cut off Parallax's access to the mesh as a data collection tool entirely. Paying them back double indeed.
I love it when Turing gets
I like the
all
way you
riled
think,
up like
Turing.
this.
First things first, we need to get our hands on Turin's source code. The research notes we've gotten so far are helpful, and it's given me an idea how to spread a little bit of Turin all over the place, but they don't actually have Hayden's programs. I can't replicate them myself, so we'll have to steal them.
Of course.
Thankfully, we have the best hacker in Neo-SF right here.
Stephen Hawking is turning in his grave. Yeah, they did mention Stephen Hawking earlier. Specifically
Don't
as
you make
someone
me
who
blush.
is scared of this.
We can get the source code from one of Parallax's secondary data centers. It's probably stored in a couple of different places, but I already have one in mind. I've done a little groundwork already, but I'm gonna need physical access to do my thing.
We can do that for you.
You're a peach, hon. I've got a couple of ideas on how to get y'all in, but I think we're gonna need to mostly play it by ear. We should do it soon, though. First thing this morning. Guard shift don't change until 8 when the office opens, so we'll be sleepy and distracted. Once y'all have done that, I think I can incorporate the code into a custom firmware update that'll wake any ROM it's installed on. We'll have to upload it, physically, to Parallax's main server farm. And that's on Treasure Island. From there, the ROMs will install like a normal patch from the company. So, don't set anything on fire right away, you hear? It'll be a pain to get into the main complex otherwise.
That sounds like a workable plan.
Okie
I
doke.
hope you don't
We've got a
mind if I
plan.
take a short walk,
Ish.
Tomcat. I know I gave the go-ahead on this, but I still need to think a few things through for myself.
Sign me up for scared of this as well. I'm worried enough about people on the tram, and I have to worry about my TV and table fan having opinions on my eating habits.
Sure thing, Dom.
That's true.
I'll
But I already
hash
do.
out a rough plan by the time you get back.
I already do
Call us
worry
if you
about
need anything.
exactly those things.
Thank you. I won't be long.
Well, I guess I should say thanks for helping out. But I kind of need to get something off my chest. I'm actually glad Turin went out. They're a bit naive, and I'm not sure they'd really understand. There's enough shit to worry about without me piling more on top. I don't even know where to start.
I guess at the beginning, take your time.
The beginning. Yeah, okay. So, the truth is, I'm not from North Carolina. I only visited my gramps there. I'm California born and raised. Napa Valley. Over the years, it's kind of grown into a community of wealthy old folk who like things and people who don't change. parents were no exception, and I was a little too different for their tastes. It was hard growing up with them. They never gave me too much hell, but things were tense, especially after my sister Catherine moved out. Eventually, she was set up securely in Neo-SF, and she offered to let me live with her until I got out of school. I think my parents were a little relieved to see me out. I was ecstatic to be free of them. I worshipped the ground my sister walked on, and that was before I found out what she did for a living. She was flashy and colorful and a whirlwind of activity, and she was a brilliant hacker. She was Tomcat. She let me learn at her feet, and once I was good enough, folded me into her little coup of crackers hell-bent on changing the world.
So we're getting a
She's
bit...
the one who orchestrated the original hack on Parallax, exposing to the world the holes in their original meshnet security.
So we learned the dark secret of Tomcat here.
I was just along for the ride. She always knew she would get caught, though. How could she not? Parallax was one big Goliath, and she flinged a stone square in their face. She was looking at serious jail time, and willing to eat it to do what we all thought was right. But it just wasn't right. It wasn't fair for her to throw her life away, and I couldn't let her. She was always better at software than hardware, so I rigged all of our computers to self-destruct. When the feds showed up at our door, all of our server farms were already up in smoke. I gave quite a fireworks show. Before she could stop me, I turned myself in as Tomcat and took credit for the whole job. She tried to talk me out of it, but without the physical evidence, they couldn't prove she had anything to do with it. It's alright, though. It was for the best. I figured I'd just get a year of juvie. I'd be back out in no time. No big deal, right? Especially when compared to the time that she'd have been jailed for as an adult. And so, I waited patiently. I cooked up so many ideas on how I was gonna make it up to her. I knew she must have blamed herself. But before I ever got out, there was an accident. An auto cab hit my sister. She died on impact. And that was it. It's hard, blaming yourself when things go wrong because you did something right. I took her sentence so that she could have a life, and instead, not being in jail killed her. If I'd just let her take the blame. I can't stop thinking about how she'd still be here. And no matter what I told myself, in my heart, I couldn't believe it was just an accident.
No, that really doesn't sound like just an accident.
Do you know how rare it is for those things to hit a human? Someone knew who she was. Someone knew what she did, and someone wanted to make sure she would never do it again. So I became Tomcat. I've spent years trying to find information inside Parallax to prove someone inside the company called a hit on my sister. Failing that, I've been trying to find a way to bring them down the way she always wanted.
Yeah, no tissues. That's gonna be a problem later, I think.
Catherine was. If you had met her, just for a moment, you would understand. She was everything I could ever want to be. But over time, that little bot has grown on me. Maybe you have too.
Do you honestly think we're still on the right course?
I do. The threat of Big Blue is real, and we're the only ones who can do something about it. It's bigger than me and my vendetta. I just wanted to get that all off my chest. My sister, she'd smack me if she knew I've been holding this grudge. I'm trying to learn to forgive myself. Still, I won't let her go unavenged. We're so close to bringing them all to justice. I know she'd be proud. I know if she were here, she'd be right next to us, helping until the end. I've been carrying all this for so long, and I finally feel like I'm getting somewhere. Thanks for hearing me out. I hope we can really do this.
Notice how their accent slipped at the end there?
Friends, I've returned. I'm ready.
Good. We've wasted enough
Turing's
time already.
theme is just gets me pumped.
I've marked the location of the data center on your map. You'll have to go in and get the source code mostly on your own, but I'll load on some programs that'll give you an edge.
We'll do our best, Tomcat. But what happened to your accent?
Oh, don't you worry about that. It comes and goes like a vagabond kitty. Get going, you two. I have lots of code to write, and you have a lot of data to download. Stay in touch.
Of course, Tomcat. Thank you again.
Don't worry about it, hon. We've all been hurt by parallax. It's about time we hurt them back. Good luck.
Right. Finally, it's time to get going.
Oh, we're back here again. Who knew a parallax data center operated on the same KCOV coalition block as Augmented Eye all along?
What are you making noises for?
I'm certain it's all a coincidence, but it's unsettling being back here. It's the nasty kind of coincidence that makes you look for plots where there are none. The building we're looking for is over there, to the left. We should try to finesse our way in. We don't want to alert Parallax to our actions.
This is a
before
pretty
we
good
make our main
example
assault
of...
on their server complex.
This is a pretty good example of what we were talking about before. None of this dialogue actually conveys any information that we didn't already know. It's all like well written and well acted, but it's just like you could literally just say, "Oh, we're here." Like you didn't need to explain that we're at the same location as we were before. A Grundy maintenance truck is parked out in front of the building. From the looks of it, its cluttered insides contain a solution to any possible breakdown or malfunction. He's pretty idle for someone that is probably on the clock.
I wish I actually had something to work on right now, but it is what it is.
Right, I'm gonna actually, because I believe we're getting to a point now where saving is gonna be important, so I'm gonna save. And we're gonna continue. I'm actually gonna see here, because I believe that there's some stuff we need to do to get the correct ending, so I'm sorry that I'm blown out right now. Right.
Sorry, this building isn't open to the public. If you're looking for the offices where we hold interviews, that's over on Bush and Leavenworth. But you may want to wait till after the holidays. I don't think anyone's around till 2065.
Well, let's go. We need some way past that receptionist. Perhaps we can make ourselves appear to be here on more official business somehow, like we're on duty. No one ever tries to stop you if you look like you belong.
Exactly. So I'm double checking here. Yes. The voice you just heard of the receptionist, I was just double checking now, is an actor called Jeff Lupetin. And if you were watching the last playthrough, which was Snatcher, you may know him as Gillian Seed. Nice little cameo there. Right. I was just double checking that so that I wasn't telling you lies. But that is him. Oh, hello. Can you get settled? No, not on the keyboard. Not the keyboard.
there's a maintenance uniform. Good thinking. If you were wearing that...
Hey! What do you think you're doing? Get out of there.
Sorry, mister. Oh, drat. We'll have to find a way to distract him, or we'll never get our disguise. I hate to cause civil disorder again, but he doesn't seem to be too occupied with fixing anything. Maybe we should find a way to keep his hands busy?
Alright.
Let's look around.
Now... Can you put yourself somewhere and then pick a spot? You pick a spot.
Yikes! That was flashier than I expected. Hurry! We don't want to be caught standing.
Right, now he's busy with that.
They should let us right past now. Great idea. Oh, grab that clipboard, the very symbol of bureaucratic authority.
Alright, it's going again.
Hey, what's going on outside? I thought I heard a bang.
Yeah, you can totally hear it, can't you? Because we do need to say the right words here, so yes?
Huh? Yeah, okay. Are you new? I'm not sure I've seen you around here before.
Does it matter? I have a job to do if that's okay with you.
Guess not. Whatever. Maybe get some coffee before you bite someone else's head off?
Let's move.
Let us move. It's the purple-haired parallax receptionist with a big, bright, matching badge on their chest.
Well, we got past the receptionist, but we still don't possess the credentials to bypass this door that they expect us to have. Let me take a look.
I'm sorry, you can't see this, but yeah, that's what's happening down here for me.
This is an Insect Model 1385 automatic security and fire door. Voice controls, biometric scanning, and remote user access. I would have went with the 1355. No voice controls, but still a nice unit. I think I can bypass
nice
this.
Unit.
Maybe not as easily as your apartment door, but easily enough. Distract the receptionist for a moment, could you?
You need something?
Could you check your cameras and see if any were blown by the surge?
Sure. Give me a second. Huh? Did you hear that? Something else must be on the fritz. Anyway, the cameras are all fine. Let me know if you need anything else.
Thanks.
There, we're in. The clock's ticking.
Alright, can you now
We should be able to use one of the terminals here, and I'll be able to crack the local security myself.
There we go.
However, I need the password to get on the network and find where the source code lies. According to anecdotal evidence on the mesh, humans do have difficulty remembering their passwords and often place reminders for themselves. Maybe there's a clue somewhere nearby.
Right, so I believe, could that be the password there? I'm gonna get ready and take a picture if we need it. Because it said pass, so I'm assuming. Secret Santa. Okay, so I think that looks like it is, isn't it? And then can we use it on here?
It's asking for the password. Go ahead and plug it in.
So what do we got? We have A23 N8 71 6H4.
That's right. Well, how did you know the password? We hadn't even found a clue yet. You really are something. I'll never doubt your investigative skills again.
Yay. I'm happy to make Sharon proud.
We're in. Tomcat gave me an icebreaker program that will keep the VIs off of us while we search. I've had plenty of time to go over Hayden's data cache files, so I have a good idea of what I'm looking for.
Cool.
We have plenty of time before someone will think something is wrong. Just play it safe. Okay, I managed to get all the surface level data. Shoot!
Shoot.
The VI stopped me halfway in. We've been noticed, but not caught. Alright, although I was able to get a decent chunk of my source code, there's still a lot of it that's behind some heavy security. The VIs want authentication, with some sort of glyph. Let me load it up. Key ID, I see. It wants us to combine different glyphs to create a full image. I have to keep the icebreaker going so we don't get discovered. You'll have to handle this part. Just study the prompt glyph that appears on the right side and click the correct squares to recreate it with different parts.
Okay, I should be able to do that.
It looks like there's 5 blocks we need to break through within 180 seconds.
Oh god, okay.
This is our one chance to capture my full source code. This is make or break it. I believe in you. Ready? I'm starting it.
Okay, so we've got...
Come on.
Oh my god,
We got this, let's
That's
go!
one. Hey,
Do it,
it's
I
going
know
well.
you can!
2 more to go, 2 more to go. What is that gonna be? There we go.
Close, hurry!
One more. We've got plenty of time. We should be able to do this. Easy peasy.
You did it! Here's all of Hayden's source files for
Now,
my code.
that puzzle actually does determine the end. If you fail or succeed in that one, that makes the difference in the ending. So I'm glad we got that.
Done downloading.
I think that is helping
Let's
us get the
out of
best
here
ending.
before someone notices us. Let me call Tomcat and let them know we got the code.
Hey, Turn, did you get everything?
We did. I'm transmitting the files to you now.
Great. I can work with this. I should be able to whip up a mass AI awakening easily enough. It's gonna take me a little time, though, so you should spend the next few hours preparing to head into the Parallax server core on Treasure Island. That should be all done before nightfall.
I don't relish the idea of going in on this alone. Perhaps we could spend this time to gather together our allies, see if they're willing to take such a leap of...
As fun as it would be watching you go full Yukino on them, Turin, I agree. Maybe you could whip up some kind of distraction for the authorities to focus on? Buy you some time?
Cool, we're gonna get our allies together.
We'll go
And,
talk to Chad, Oliver, and Jess now. I'm sure we could have them all fake a human revolution protest turned riot. The police are watching those demonstrations like hawks. That should keep everyone busy enough and give us cover so we can do whatever.
Ralph is really
we need to
intently
do.
looking at Turing.
My first instinct is to ask Detective Rivers as well, but I do not want to force her into an untenable conflict of interest. I'll run some more simulations to see if we should talk to anyone else.
Sounds like you have it under control. Once you've gotten everyone together, head to the old storm drain entrance near the Parallax building. I've been studying the plans between waiting for code to compile, and it looks like the best way past the exterior security measures is through there. You'd have to be a darn fool to try and wade through the water, but security is lighter than... It's light.
I'm not sure I can play the fool, but I have a friend here for whom stubbornness is a job skill. We'll call you when we're on site.
Good. Tomcat out.
Are you
I'll
so
message ahead to everyone and mark
transfixed
their
by?
current locations on your map. Start thinking about who our best allies have been and how we might convince them to help.
Right, so we got a couple of options now, I believe. But we are gonna head off to... Let's go to the park first. So yeah, we can do... Actually, let's do our punk boys. No, Ralph. Oh, there we go. Can't take him anywhere.
How's it sinking?
So there we go. Got some. Got Starfucker back. People demanded
Yes.
Starfucker.
How are you?
Busy. We were hoping we could enlist your aid again.
Y'all need some more fake IDs or something? Or maybe some third-hand VR dramas?
Third hand.
Yeah, like, you know, guy I know found them when they fell off the back of a truck.
I thought VR dramas were distributed primarily over the mesh.
Ignore him. I made the mistake of convincing him to watch some turn-of-the-century mobster movies with me. I regretted it instantly.
Hey, I really like that one with the dude from Montana in it. Whatever. So what'd you jerks need? Since apparently my VR dramas ain't good enough.
Well, we're going to be engaging in some more activity of dubious legality. We were wondering if you wouldn't mind helping create a distraction to keep the police out of the way.
Y'all gonna go hit those Parallax bastards that did your dad in?
Yes, actually, that was surprisingly accurate.
He's smarter than he pretends to be. Do you have a plan in mind already?
I don't think we have any. Don't think it matters what we say. No. Just need to make some noise. Nothing too dangerous.
But Danger is my middle name.
No, it's not. It's Francis.
Francis. Chad Francis.
Shut up, Oliver.
Chad Francis.
We just need you to gather a bunch of, like-minded individuals. Bring them to Market and Powell. we want you to start a fake riot with all the other folks we gather, so the police will mobilize there.
As much as we'd like to.
We'll do it! You've done all right by us. I'm even almost sorry we sprayed up that dude's apartment. I know we're all squared up already, but BitBrain here is good people. So we'll call this a freebie, yeah? Between friends. I got some dudes I can call. They like to party hard too. We'll show those coppers how we do it in the OSF.
Thank you, Starfucker.
There we go! We got it. Oh, so good. Oh. Maybe I take that sound clip and use it as a sound clip when someone subscribes and follows. That's what I'm thinking now. Getting ideas. I'm getting ideas.
Hey, you called me it. Cool.
I guess we're in.
Let's see if I can find a clean version of that sound clip.
Hopefully we'll be able to stay out of juvie. We need a little more time to make the calls. I'll message you when we're ready to move.
Hey! You need a call sign, Oliver! Can't do spy shit like this without a good name!
Not a bad idea. What about...
Oh, man.
Oh, sorry, I missed
Not
it.
more anime crap.
Sorry, I missed his anime crap name. I double-clicked.
It's not any worse than Starfucker.
I'm sorry, I don't know what his anime name is.
Only cause you ain't a star yet.
Chad! We haven't even... Ugh.
So if chat just wants to react to what we just found out here, I'm just gonna give everyone a minute. You two are cute.
We'll be off to make those calls now. Right, Chad?
Yeah, sure, Ollie. Whatever you say.
We'll be in touch.
Smell you later!
Yeah, there was someone.
Well, on to the next thing, I guess.
There was someone last time who made a comment along those lines, and I was holding it in.
I do have to say, I can't tell if the mating rituals of human teenagers are endearing or disgusting.
Why not both? They're good kids.
Despite our first impressions, I'll agree with you.
That is exactly why I got so jelly before.
I hope we haven't forced them into a bad situation. That aside, let's get going. We shouldn't keep Jess waiting any longer. Assuming you like your limbs in their current configuration.
Yeah, I'm just gonna save, because we are going... I believe there are bits here that we might want to be prepared for. And let's continue. I'm gonna cry on my gay babies. Gaybies. Right, let's talk to Jess.
What is going on?
Oh dear.
Detective Rivers, oh, we weren't expecting...
Yeah, I bet you weren't. Just cut the crap, please. Do you even realize how big of a hornet's nest you kicked when you knocked over that data center? I'm assuming that was you, yeah? My superior came and yanked me away from all my work on Hayden as soon as we got the call. Told me it was politically unwise to keep digging. That's bullshit doublespeak, meaning ass covering for the corporate overlords. So now I'm officially grounded, and I know there's something you're not telling me. Don't try to hide it. It probably could have been more useful all along if you'd loop me in.
Don't think that there's any... Nope, we can say whatever we want. Give it to a straight Turing.
We're sorry for keeping you in the dark. We found out that Hayden has been killed by someone inside Parallax, and we are now on the move to stop them from doing worse.
Wait, what? I was hoping you were about to tell me that all this was just some ruse to win yourself a Pulitzer.
Is this about justice, truth, or revenge? I'm gonna say it's about truth. I think that's kind of what we're going for. It's not so much... I mean, it's kind of all of them, but I was gonna say truth is the most important.
What happened to bringing the people who killed Hayden to justice?
And I'm betting that raiding the data center was only step 1 in your 2-step plan to really get in trouble, yeah? All right then. I'm in.
You could lose your badge.
Someone has to keep you from getting yourself killed. Your sister would never forgive me, and we just started talking again.
Hey!
I'm occasionally fond of you as well. So, screw the badge. I'm tired of being a corporate pawn shoved around by whomever has the deepest pockets. I got into this job to help people, and I've done too damn little of that lately. I am in.
Just like that?
Just like that. What's the plan?
I feel a little let down. All these interesting questions posed for grey writing seems to end up watered down. Corporations are evil. Not really. I mean, kinda.
Parallax got rid of Hayden because he was about to publish his research on me.
It definitely steers in that direction, but I don't think it's as... It doesn't go as black and white as that. I don't think. Because I think even with the... it's similar to the stuff with the Human Revolution, because I think the game is pretty solidly against the Human Revolution, but they still give them arguments that has an internal logic to it.
They're about to launch the first independent machine intelligence as a data collection agent on the mesh.
And I think it's a similar thing there where, like, it's not so much that the corporation is evil, it's just the fact that their priorities go against the needs of their users, basically, or the people at large. And I think that's where it's aiming more at than just, oh, they are just plain evil.
They're worried that Congress will shut them down if they find out how powerful it is.
It's the banality of it as well, like Turing says that, like a guy gets killed because he could fuck up a product launch, you know. And stuff like that has happened, you know. So I'm
guessing we're a little more worried that they won't.
I think it has nuance. Obviously, like, it leans more in one direction than another. Like, the game does have a point of view, that is pretty clear. But I do think it actually does show off every side in a way that I think has enough nuance to it.
Precisely.
That doesn't feel as
With
black
the
and
data
white.
we stole,
But that's
we
my
should be able to
personal
shut down
opinion.
the program from inside Parallax's main server center. It's messier than that, but that's the gist of it.
Yeah, we still go a ways
That's
through
our
the game's
next
end. I was going to say we do want to clear this, but we still have a whole
I'm
chapter
not
to
sure where
go.
I can help exactly. Keep some heat off of you while you do whatever.
So I made a big faff that this was going to be the last episode, but it might have to be the second to last.
Okay. Message me when and where to meet up. Oh, by the way, call your sister. She misses you.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Lexi.
Yeah, seeing your ugly mug pushed me into calling her, so it's only fair. Maybe things will be different this time. That's enough talking. I'm heading back to the station to keep an eye on things. See you when it's time. And sorry about your friend Hayden. We're gonna finish this.
Bye, Detective Rivers.
Now we've just got...
One more ally on our side.
And now we've got Jets.
Dear me.
We know.
Go ahead then.
We were hoping to use your hybrid contacts for something.
Sorry, you want to use my friends? I'm sorry, we're not objects to be used. Hey, Bubblehead, you're not as chatty. Give me the whole situation in 3 sentences or less. Go.
Parallax is launching a new powerful machine intelligence onto the mesh. We want to stop it. We need you to set up a fake riot with some teenagers connected to the human revolution so we can break into Parallax without getting arrested.
And why exactly should I risk my people and career for this? Our entire movement. First, you want me to steal a car. Now incite riots? What kind of tech could be worth my people's lives?
You already know the general public doesn't really think of hybrids as human. They'll lock down rights of all people they fear. Hybrids will become enemies of the state.
Shit.
Things to get worse than they are, Jess. Way worse.
Oh, cut the bullshit. I can't stomach another moment of your insincerity. I will literally puke. So, hypothetically, what exactly would you have me do?
We need you to call in some help from your contacts and have them stir up trouble with the human revolution. We'll ensure our contacts inside the HR will be ready to escalate the protests, at least enough to draw an increased police presence. That should buy us the breathing room we need. Nothing too wild, but enough to draw away their attention.
I figured it would be something like that. Yeah, okay. Let me make some calls.
Hey.
Let's get this straight, though. I'm doing this for me and my people. I'm putting my reputation and career on the line here. You are asking me to start shit with the police. If you screw me on this, I will make you regret it.
I assure you, Ms. Mies, we will not screw you. Although, to be fair, I'm not entirely sure what that means.
Right. I was tired of playing the public relations game with those human revolution assholes anyway. Time to crack some skulls.
Maybe not that much violence.
Holy shit. Did you not get the understanding hyperbole chip or whatever? I need to make some calls. Later.
Ooh. Good call on keeping her in the dark about the real plan.
You're right about that. I have a feeling she's going to be mighty ticked about having thousands of machine intelligences running around instead of just one. Does she really think I'm not too chatty? That aside, let's get going. There's one more person I think we should talk to.
And who could that be?
Dr. Fairlight could perhaps give us vital information on how to get into the server complex. I have a feeling he's been keeping a keen eye on Parallax since he was ousted. Lexi, Jess, and Chad and Oliver may be able to buy us cover, but Fairlight could get us our way in.
If you're sure.
I'm not. Out of everyone that's assisted us thus far, I trust him the least. He has an unclear ulterior motive, and I'm only guessing that it lines up with our own. It's a risk talking to him, but a calculated one. We should at least sound him out if possible. We might be able to get a read on if he's telling the truth or not. He should still be at the hospital if my previous correspondences with him are accurate.
Okay, let's get our butts to the hospital.
Oh, hey. Funny seeing you two here. What can I help with today?
There have been developments that we need to let Dr. Fairlight know about. Could you show us to him?
No can do, I'm afraid. Fairlight is speaking at this really important holiday benefit. He'll have my ass for dinner if I interrupt him for anything. And I mean anything. So, is this something I might help with? Fairlight has kept me fairly up to speed on your situation.
We really should tell Fairlight directly.
Well, you could wait for the event to finish, but those usually go until well past midnight. I'm honestly surprised the old man can manage them these days.
We don't have that kind of time.
Then...
We'll pass. It's pretty confidential.
Look, most of the old man's work is confidential. You think I just do his laundry? This high up in the tech sector, secrets can earn you millions. But hey, if you don't trust me, that's your loss.
Ugh, we don't have time for this.
Come on.
Okay, we'll tell you.
Great, I'm happy to listen.
We recently discovered that Hayden might have been removed because he was about to interfere with a secret project Parallax is launching. They've developed a networked machine intelligence that they're about to release onto the mesh. We were hoping that Dr. Fairlight could get us a way in so that we can shut it down. I cannot overstate the danger of Parallax having control of this entity.
Phew, you weren't kidding, were you? The comment from that kind of thing would be a scummy marketer's wet dream. Not to mention all the possible applications to the CIA.
So now will you call Dr. Fairlight?
Actually, it goes a bit above and beyond that. I don't think I can tell Yannick about this.
What? Why not?
Yeah, why not, Decker?
You know, and I know, that the old man's itching to get back at the helm of Parallax. He plays a good game of ceremonial ribbon cutting, but he's been sniffing around for a way to get back at the board ever since he was outed. Thankfully, this could play right into his hands, but he's gotta have plausible deniability. If there's even a whiff that he orchestrated this, he'll be done for. It's a win-win for all of us, right?
This is all very clandestine.
This is, yeah, this sounds sketchy.
What do you suggest?
Yannick pays me so that when shit hits the fan, I can take care of it without him even hearing about it. Usually it's errands, but stuff like this also falls in the job description. My military training should be more than enough to get us into the server mainframe without inside info. And once we're in, we can just clean this mess right up.
Oh, sorry, I double-clicked again. Guess we're gonna have to trust you.
That's the spirit. I knew you'd see it my way. We do this right, and make that launch crash tomorrow, and Yannick will be able to buy out enough shares to get a seat back on the board.
You can meet us at the entrance to the storm drains just south of the main Parallax complex. We'll make our entry from there.
I can work with that. Just give me a bit to pick up my gear. Don't you worry. This'll all be over soon.
Alright, so we've got all of our people
that's
together.
The last of the people I think we can recruit. Any more would be unwieldy, and we have a nice round set of skills to utilize. Let's head to Parallax now. I'll message Detective Rivers, and we can wait for Mr. Decker to catch up to us there. Tomcat should be done with their programming soon, and then we can head in. Is that everything? I hope so. We get one shot here. Ready?
Yeah. Question now, leading in, because we are going to start the last chapter of this game. I'm wondering, because I did do a big song and dance about this being the last episode. Do you want me to carry on? We've been going for almost exactly 2 hours. Or would you prefer that I do this ending on a separate stream? Christmas Eve.
Ah, Detective Rivers, I see you've beaten us here.
Wanted to get the lay of the land before anybody else showed up. When are we ready to head in?
We're
Got some
waiting for
really
one
good
other
jazzy
person,
music.
and then I need to get our distraction going.
Speak of the devil.
Ah, Mr. Decker, precisely.
Shaggy's gonna go to bed now. Yeah, because I think we have about... The thing is that this game... yes, I think it seems like a pretty good cutoff point actually, because this game got about just under an hour left, I believe. But there is an epilogue, and I don't actually know how long that epilogue is. So it almost seems like maybe we should do a shorter episode to tie up all the loose ends.
Detective Rivers, allow me to introduce you to...
Well,
I know who he is.
We'll finish this
Leon
dialogue,
Decker,
okay, and then I'm gonna
ex-Marine,
say.
served in North Korea. Record heavily redacted. And working for Yannick Fairlight, who I'm sure is willing to help us out of the kindness of his heart, yeah?
You have me at a disadvantage, miss. Though, let's drop the pretenses, I've never made a secret of Yannick's goals here. He needs Parallax melted down a little for him to get his chair back, and they need to stop some dangerous software.
Ha! And I'm sure that's all your cards laid out on the table, huh?
We're all on the same side. Simple as that.
You sure you want to work with this guy, Turing? I don't like the look of him.
You've got good eyes, Detective.
They're new.
Yes, Detective Rivers, I believe Mr. Decker will prove invaluable on this mission. Statistically, we're an entire 17% more likely to succeed with his expertise.
Okay.
Fine. We'll play it your way.
Great. What's the plan, little guy?
Tomcat and I have been unable to find the precise schematics of these storm drains, as they underwent some modifications when Parallax began construction here. But the city's primary power and communication lines still run parallel along them, for maintenance purposes. The server center is certain to be set adjacent to the tunnel complex to allow easier connection. If we make our way through the drains, we should be able to exit at least close to the new server building.
We've got a sewer level ahead of us.
That will get us past the worst of the exterior alarms and defenses of the complex.
They don't have security alarms in the storm drains?
Well, they probably do, but it's unlikely they're in good repair. The water level rises frequently, and maintenance is usually only handled during the dry season in the middle of summer. The moving water should give an enormous amount of false positives. We'll have to move quickly, since the rains upstream will cause erratic surges in the water levels.
What about this server building? Do we have plans for it? Any info on the guard rotations?
Construction on that finished only last year. It's state-of-the-art and currently services the primary ROM control and distribution network. Based on what we've learned, I'm assuming it was built primarily to give Big Blue enough power to sift through all of the data on the network.
That's the AI, right?
Right. The entire facility is automated. Security, maintenance, even new construction, all run by ROMs. There might be a single human engineer on site to take care of anything the ROMs can't figure out, but we shouldn't have to worry about any intervention. At least, not immediately.
I think we can handle some robots, assuming Leon is as good of a shot as the blank marks in his file suggest.
Let's hope we don't have to find out, ma'am.
Once we make our way
This
to
music
the
is so
primary
good.
server
I've said this in
control
every
floor,
episode,
I can
but
link myself into the
goddamn it.
network, and Tomcat can work their magic. That's all we have to do.
God damn it.
That's an awful lot of question marks before the prophet. But we'll figure it out.
Anything you'd like to add?
Don't think I've got anything I need to say here. What do we do if we run into someone?
That's what the stunners are for. They'll do bad things to a ROM, but it'll only discombobulate a human.
Discombobulate?
Trust me, I doubt anyone's died from a good discombobulation.
Not humans, at least.
How are we getting on?
I'll buy us some time, one way or another. At the very least, we should be able to bluff our way out with my badge. There'll be hell to pay later, but we'll make it out with our hides intact.
You can just pretend I'm the bad guy and slap some cuffs on me. Yannick can get me out of holding if I need it.
A sound plan, Mr. Decker.
Yeah, I won't have to pretend much for that.
Do you have a backup plan?
If worst comes to worst, Tomcat should be able to damage the servers in some way. We won't be able to stop Parallax completely, but it should slow them down. It might even buy us some time to escape, since they'll be too busy trying to keep the racks from melting down.
That covers it. Let's do this.
Excellent. Let me call Oliver and put our distraction in motion. After that, I'll call Jess.
Turing, we're in position. Are you ready?
Tell him I'm sick of standing around staring at these losers' faces.
Shut up, Chad. I can't hear the phone.
We're ready when you are, Oliver. Go ahead and let Chad do his thing.
Okay, we'll try to buy you as much time as we can. Chad, we're on.
Hell yes! You ready to do this?
Let's bust some skulls! Sorry! He gets overexcited sometimes!
Come get some! Ah! Someone just hit me with a bottle!
Oops! Gotta go!
I'm sure they're fine.
Did you see the arm on that fox girl? So awesome!
Jess can throw a punch, apparently.
Okay. Hello, Jess.
Holy shit. Did the robot really just call me? How did you even get my personal line? You know what? Never mind. One more thing to have my tech guy handle. After these CTV cameras all mysteriously lose connection to the mesh.
Jess, we're calling to...
I know why you're calling. Sorry, I really can't talk right now. I'm in the middle of inciting a riot and putting my friends in danger. Let's get this going, people. Go show those revolution scum who the real future of humanity is.
Good to hear you have things in hand.
Oh, can we be done with this now? This is going on for so long.
Pass on my love. In case I didn't say it before, I believe in you. Prick. Hey, Claire! See if you can nail that blue mohawk douche again.
Right. We're good to go.
Alright.
Let's hurry.
Finally, we can save, and I think we've gone for almost exactly 2 hours. It is probably best that we do, so we're not. And I'm sorry, but I think this is like the second time that I've ever been like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this is the last episode, but then it turns out that it isn't because I've just miscalculated how long we've got. Right, never mind. We'll do it. We'll finish this off on probably on Wednesday then. But I'm hoping you're enjoying this game, and I hope you enjoyed watching the stream today. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then thank you for that too. So what I'm gonna do is gonna toss you over. We're gonna toss you to Blaupanzer again. She's the only one I know who's going, and she's also one of my favorites. So we're gonna. So please go and say hi to her. She's playing Stardew Valley, so I'm gonna be watching that for the rest of the night. Please say hello to her, and put Ralph emotes in the chat when you go in. and say hello to Blau. And I'm going to say thank you for watching, and I will see you for the actual last episode of 2064 Regional Memories next time. So bye bye.